Video. We're just going to be looking at graphs, and the goal here is to just identify whether or not a graph represents a function. So I know we've already looked at a couple like this, where it's just a bunch of points plotted everywhere. And for instance, this one would not be a function because the input 2, whenever you look at 2 for x as your input, there's 2 different outputs, all right? So the number 2 is going to 2 different places, right? Now this method works, but sometimes it's hard to tell. I guess it is. I don't know. Whenever the graph's all curvy or something like that. But what this method is, it's called the vertical line test, and it basically says if you have a vertical line, right, something straight up and down, if it crosses the graph twice or more in any place, then it is not a function. So up to this point, you can see the vertical line is only crossing it that one time. All right, but whenever we get up to this portion of the graph right here, this vertical line, it's crossing there and there in 2 spots. All right, so if it crosses more than once in any spot, then it is not a function. Okay. So basically what's happening is at this negative value, maybe this may be -3, something like that, there's 2 different outputs. Whatever this negative value right here is, that's an output, and this output right here. All right, so -3 is going to 2 different places, and that's why it's not a function. So I got several graphs for you here, and we're just going to look at the vertical line test for each one of these. All right, so for this first graph, we're trying to see if there's any place where the paperclip, where the vertical line crosses it twice. All right, so if we follow this thing along, so far it's only crossing that one spot, and it actually continues to do that all the way throughout. No matter where we put this paperclip, it's only touching it one spot on the graph. So this would be a yes. This graph is a function. All right, so yes means it is a function. All right, but on this graph, so if we move our vertical line towards it, right there, whenever we first put it on there, it fails the vertical line test because it crosses here and here. Just because it passes over here, on this side it's only crossing the one time, but that doesn't really matter because it failed on this side. All right, so if it fails it anywhere on the vertical line test, it is not a function. All right, we'll do a little lightning bolt one here. So it's pass, 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 fail. Right there. Once we get to that spot, the paperclip hits it once there, and another time there. All right, so this is a no. It is not going to pass the vertical line test. This function, it does pass the vertical line test. No matter where we put the no matter where we put the vertical line, it's only intersecting at one time. So this is a yes. If we look at this function here, okay, so it's only intersecting at the one time here. Move it along a little, and everywhere we move it, it's only touching it one time. All right, so this would be a yes. It does pass. Yeah, for this function, I was trying to draw a straight vertical line here, but I kind of got off kilter. Basically, if it is a vertical line already, so the graph of a vertical line, if you line the paperclip up on it in that one perfect spot, the paperclip is supposed to intersect your vertical line several times, an infinite number of times actually. So if the graph is actually of a vertical line, it does not pass the vertical line test. So it is not a function. Okay. And I just want to mention on this graph here, We said it is a function, and that is true because it passes the vertical line test. There is such a thing as the horizontal line test, all right? And this does not pass the horizontal line test because, as you can see, here and here, it crosses twice. But that doesn't affect it being a function. All right, this thing is still a function because it passes the vertical line test. It just doesn't pass the horizontal line test, which you'll learn about later, I suppose.